red shield, and that's just the front, because that even not even who it is. And the operations for the synagogue of Satan, who have been ruling Midgard for quite some of this last millennia. Let's put it that way. And the anthropomorphic perception that you know as Jesus, look at it anthropomorphically, has already been on the path of restoration of that which is correct and right. Whether you use the name Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, etc., you're really talking about an energy spirit that is really the same. That energy has already been here and is already operating now on another level, dimensional level, to defeat the dark priesthood. And so your politics is a lower level reflection of that. Know that that is the truth.
I'm gonna we're almost some of the things that some people are interested in are things that are going to be addressed over on my new channel, because everybody doesn't want to hear about the metaphysical or the galactic and all that, even though we all need to know, because it's going to be more and more apparent as time goes by in the very, very near future.
You're not even going to.
They're going to need to know.
You're not even going
to be on you.
Put it this way: you're not even going to be going into maybe what you might call another. You know how people looking at 222, 223. You won't get past that before much of what we've been telling you for years will be smashing you in your face.
Well,
so it's sort of like this. Things will be accelerating and happening and taking place so fast. Some things have been slowed down only in the nature of having compassion for humanity, not necessarily to hide things from you, but actually to protect your mental. Because one of the things that some who are trying to do good are trying to protect your consciousness, which is under attack. Because your consciousness, if it goes negative, you'll start manifesting for the dark priesthood, which we've been doing with our adopted belief systems, thinking that we were helping that which is divine, which has much to do with the condition that exists here at Midgard, which we're trying to help reverse.
So I want you to subscribe, go to YouTube and put in a search, Dr. G is official. Now it's going to pop up Darius is official. No, you want Dr. G is official. I only need, there's like over 1,000 of you on here right now. I only need 140 more subscribers to get to 1,000. And I appreciate that, because I haven't even put any live content on there. So 800 and whatever, 60 of you have already subscribed. 140 of you, 1,083 that I see right now, can go over to YouTube, to Dr. G is official, and subscribe, so that those of you who want the esoteric information will be able to get that, apart from this channel, which is more concerned with more science and so forth. But direct civics, but metaphysics, the esoteric is more science. You need to know that.
It is.
It's very important that you know that. It's very important that you get back to your divine self, your divine mind, your divine abilities, because a lot of the things that you are bellyaching about and wanting somebody else to do, you wouldn't have to have that type of experience, because you'd be able to manifest the outcomes yourself.
Vision, heal thyself.
So go over there, 140 of you.
Remember, we're promoting responsibility. So we're not promoting followership. We're promoting self-responsibility.
Here's a question here, and I thought this was where did it go? Somebody asked if, and forgive me if I didn't actually pull up your question, but I remember what it was. They asked if the here it is. DJ, come to pull it up. Is the IRS still operating? I still haven't gotten my refund, and I filed it on March 15th. That is ridiculous. Somebody else told me the same thing today.
The IRS is being dismantled, and by technical legal process is non-operative. However, some of the paid agents within that program operations of the Roman Curia have been moved to the Treasury Department for the United States, and this is to repurpose some of their activities, and some of them are being removed altogether on multiple levels. And the real deal of it is some of the fines in violation that have taken place apply to those who, and many who have been violating human rights and international law. Their resources are being confiscated to refund operations of a appearance of legitimate government operating under constitutional principles, i.e., and that platform is what Mr. T represents. Whether or not those manifests will come to be is for you to see. However, that is part of the battle that's going on in the background. So to put it in just straightforward to you, the IRS is being dissolved.
Hi. Yeah, you get.
And if some of you will notice that many of you have probably been notified that your credit cards aren't working, which I told you 7 or 8 years ago would start happening.
Yeah, they're shutting down a lot.
Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. They've been trying to hide it, but it's like everything is breaking. Every institutional platform is breaking. And this is again why they've been so hostile to anyone who exposes truth, because the deal of it is they don't want you to look at them, because a lot of the people you've been calling government is really your demons. And they ain't gray either.
And if you think that person, that Mr. B, is the same Mr. B that was at my graduation 40-some years ago, that's not him. Trust and believe.
You know, without going into it really deep, you got projections, you got clones, you got CGI, etc.
We watched today some news on YouTube, and the people, I guess it was from a few days ago, but the correspondent said over to these two individuals who were in Washington, supposedly in DC, in the DC area, for I think there was the lawyer that was being arraigned or something. You remember that? Mm-hmm. And it was obvious. They had a video playing in the background, and they were green screen. I mean, everything that we see
CGI
is like a big psyop movie that's being projected in front of us as real. And I don't know how many people are falling for this stuff now. I mean, you could just tell now things that we took for granted were real in the past. Now it's like the eyes of our understanding being enlightened.
If you notice that that all around the world in different nation, state, territories, you're having massive flooding and storms that are not harmonic with the seasons. Those are diversions too.
Yeah, so much.
But again, remember we told you years ago, we said, time's going to come, you're going to be putting those credit cards in the machines, and the machine going to go burp. Well, it's happening already, and you will see it accelerating. For those of you who doubt what I say, start doing some research on Wells Fargo and that other HBC game, and you're going to start happening at Chase, and then it's going to start accelerating. So we told you years ago to take your fiat out of them banks.
Get you some
Don't keep
silver.
any more in there than you need to keep those accounts operating while transition is being made. Because what they're going to do, they're going to bail in to save themselves, and they will sacrifice you to do so. This is again why we've been telling you for years to start getting silver. Now, not that, because that's the money. Not that you wouldn't get gold. It's just that when you get gold, you're not going to be transferring your everyday affairs in gold. That would be your backup. Not only that, the silver is going to jump far higher than you could ever imagine.
And you're going to be able to get some gold with a few pieces of silver.
Yeah. Keep in mind, silver has more industrial uses and also medical uses than gold does.
Absolutely.
But keep in mind what we've been telling you for years, cosmologically, gold is the alchemical metal for the sun. Copper is the alchemical metal for Venus. Silver is the alchemical metal for the moon. And so the moon economy on the earth controlling the blood flow and the movement of the waters is where you get moon or eco in agriculture from in its dynamics. And so that is the money. And therefore, in the constitution of the principles of the Asiatic nation, gold and silver coin is the only thing that's used universally as a general rule in contractual agreement for the satisfying of debts. So it cannot be paid without gold and silver coin until such time, and this is after thousands and thousands and thousands of years that we have changed that process. And we have not changed that constitution of operations on Midgard. And therefore, they give you something else and tell you it's money, they're lying to you. Therefore, credit is not money. Federal Reserve notes are not money. And you've not been allowed to handle money for years. Keep that in mind, not to divert you from the subject matters that we're talking about at the moment.
Mercy and Freeman, your question about what's meant by a gray, I think somebody else responded, but yes, grays are ETs or alien beings.
Not new.
Nope, been around. Some say that they're not even biological.
That's a loose name. You got that right. Some of them, yes, a few of them are.
Some are
are actually biological robots.
Right, that's what I mean.
You got that right. Many of them are simply, they don't have what the soul that you talk about. They take orders. You might call it biological AI with some of them. But again, like I said before, I don't divert people to that because many people aren't what you would call in the frame of mind to handle that. And we have a tendency to keep getting diverted from things that you need to address in front of you. You know, it's sort of like you've heard me always say, why have a discussion with people what's on the dark side of the moon when they can't get across town without getting profiled? So I more or less try to deal with mundane things, down to earth things that help people take responsibility to solve a lot of our problems here in Midgard, so you can prepare for other things. It's sort of like the principle of how dare you claim the love of God you do not see, and love not your brothers and sisters whom you see by the day. Again, my position has always been, why discuss the dark side of the moon when we don't even know the principles of this firmament that we know as Midgard or Earth, when most people don't even know that this particular Earth is Midgard. So why are we going to discuss things that are beyond us? My issue is, let's start solving some of the problems before us, meaning that let's start eating the plate of dinner that's before us before we start arguing about dessert. Not that dessert is not relevant.
I see a couple of, as we get ready to, I'm not going to miss this opportunity to, particularly since I know this is real. There's several questions, or a couple of questions, not several. Turtle Hustle says, how does stacking gold and silver protect us during this economic meltdown?
It does.
That
concept is also misrepresented too.
Right. And somebody else said it was hard to get silver here. I don't know where here is.
Of course it is.
I'm running at the bottom of the page. If you are in the U.S., if you're in the UK jurisdiction, some of these, you can get the silver for as little as 35 notes an ounce, a coin per coin.
And remember, a few months ago it was what, 23?
23. I was so glad that I got 100 plus 200 ounces at 23. That went up $11 an ounce. So if you see that, www.getpaidmore.com. Go visit that site. You can get silver as a preferred customer, or you can get silver as a wealth ambassador and get paid.
And keep this in mind. The reason why we suggest it, because we already know that the dark priesthood is attacking the people. Because remember, part of their attack is economic. And so the deal of it is, because you're going to have, they'll call them blackouts, whether they're dealing with the institutions that you become dependent on, whether it's talking about electrical, whether it's talking about movement on the roads, whether it's talking about the institutions that you become dependent on, all of them can be called blackout when they either collapse or they interrupt what you call free flow or fungibility of things in order to cause injury on the people. And in a state of emergency, you can spend silver and gold all around the world, whereas the fiat currencies will be no different than the wrappers from a discarded piece of candy that's thrown in the gutter. It will not work. This is why we tell you, it's not to save you, it's to give you some sense of trade opportunities under emergency causes, emergency times. This is why those who know always carries in their pocket a silver coin. All around the world, those who know what's going on for states of emergency. And so we're encouraging you to get in that state of mind to take responsibility.
Do it now. I mean, I've been hearing you talk about silver for at least 9-10 years that I've known you, and it wasn't until last year that opportunity presented itself, and I have over 400 ounces now.
Like like over the years, whenever, even if I pull in my pocket every once in a while, for 40 years, I'd pull out silver or gold coin and show it to people, to show them what others who know what's going on do as a trained habit for states of emergency. These people keep trusting in these Roman institutions that are collapsing. And in an emergency, you can be out of town or something. That'll get you home. That'll feed you, but nothing else will. That's not conjecture. That's fact. Anywhere on the planet.
Okay. Anybody that's still asking about a flash drive, go back and look at the video. You'll see this video. You'll see underneath it says to text USB to 302-345-0500. Look at that. I will send you the link. They'll take you directly to purchase the flash drive, whether you're in the U.S. If you're not in the U.S., if you're in Germany and UK
jurisdiction,
and
I always say German or U.S.
Germany,
jurisdiction,
if you're in,
not a place.
Okay, well, if you're in Germany, UK, and
jurisdictions,
and Canyon land jurisdictions, say that, because I will send you a different link than if you're in the U.S. jurisdiction. That's all I'm saying. We have two different links, so you know, because it costs a bit more to send it to those places. So if you are in any of those places, or if you're in somewhere else, let me know so I can find out what it costs to get it to you. You'll have to give me an address, and then if you say if you're in Swaziland or something, I need to know so I can check the address.
And for those who don't comprehend why we keep making that correction, because politically, if you say you're in the U.S., that means they have jurisdiction over your state. It's not a place to go. It's not a country to be reached. It's a political jurisdiction, not a geographical location. Keep that in mind. And they will use that against you every time that you state it. Keep that in mind. That's why you see me making those corrections. Not being disagreeable. It's correcting you. You need to know that you're under attack. And the enemy's not without. The enemy is within.
Yes.
The enemy is in the gates already.
They have a thing called the enemy at the gate.
Not at the gate, they're in.
In the gate.
They're in the house.
And if you need the link, I just put this in the chat. If you can't find the Dr. Gia's official channel, everything goes to 302-345-0500, but just text channel. I will send you the link, and you can click on the link and subscribe. So if you're looking for my channel, text channel. If you're looking for a USB drive, text USB drive. If you want to get a ticket for August 27th, text 827. You will get the proper link. And if you're from another jurisdiction other than the U.S. jurisdiction, let me know so I know what to send you. Now, we are at our end of this particular. We were only going to be on until 8:30 because of Grand Sheik's commitment at 9. And I'm going to give you a minute or a breather in between. I want to thank each and every one of you. We do for tuning in and for your support. All the love I see in the chat. I'm not going to go over what happened earlier. That was painful, but it had to happen, and we need to have a place where we can all, we may not all agree, but we can be in harmony at the same time, even in our not agreeing. So I thank you all for
even in our schisms,
right.
But recognize the schism.
Yes.
Don't
Absolutely.
ignore them. Take responsibility.
Yes. So, and August 27th is going to be amazing. We're going to have all kinds of little things that you are going to want to be a part of on that day. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to being able to be, as we say, up close and personal. And I think you will appreciate that day and the information that you'll be able to glean from it. Again, it will not be televised. It will not be live streamed. And we're not sure if it will even be released, but we will be able to tell you things that you can definitely share with your loved ones and those that you're in association with, and hopefully give you things that you'll be able to take back with you that will assist you further in uplifting fallen humanity. Gershie?
Yeah, so thank you all for spending this time with us this evening, and trust that we helped or encourage many of you to take a strong and deliberated stand in helping the great missionary work of uplifting fallen humanity. Please subscribe to Dr. G's new YouTube channel. Dr. G is official. YouTube requires 1,000, number 12, which many of you who have the old newspaper, the Alma Rock and Star, you'll see the cover of the superliminal on the back of the newspapers. And you see old Moorish lantern, essence of sage, and that's the cover of the superliminal. But anyway, I want to share with the Intuit Mind